Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hope you guys have had a wonderful morning so far. Today, we've got a special guest with us. She's no stranger to the Healthy Way vibes. We've got Sue Ward. I'm Fatima, and we are going to be talking about liver health. I'll pass it on to John.
Hey, welcome everybody. Yeah, we have Sue Ward here today joining us again, and we're happy to have her here. She's a board certified nutrition specialist. She's the director of nutrition and education at Sonavive Medical Institute, where she manages nutrition, the kitchen, garden, fitness, and guest education departments. She helps with special projects and assists with research. She's also been on the Dr. Oz show, and she holds a bachelor degree in exercise science from the Southern Connecticut State University, a master's degree in human nutrition from the University of Bridgeport, and is trained by the Institute for Functional Medicine. Her personal website, sueward.com, sue-ward.com. She has online courses where she has a blog for anyone interested in nutrition, fitness, natural health, and much, much more. She's super, super passionate about educating people. Her favorite topic is liver health, which we're going to be covering today. And she believes a healthy liver is essential for optimum health. She has over 20 years of experience in corporate fitness and 12 years in experience in clinical nutrition. And she studied all forms of integrative medicine. And during her career as a fitness trainer, she spent 10 years training everyday people for half and full marathons using moderate run walk approach, as outlined in her book, Cruising for Fitness or Finish Lines, a run walk program for everyday people. So let's bring Sue in and get the show started.
Hi, I'm Cyrene, by the way. I know everyone's Fatima's introduced herself, and so has John, so I might as well do that.
There we go.
Oh, yay.
Hello, Sue. Thanks for joining us again.
Oh, it's great to be here. You guys all look great. I'm getting the hang of the Zoom thing now.
It only took, what, 2.5 years?
Exactly. But we need to.
Yep. So the big question is liver health, and why is our liver so important for our health?
You guys, I've seen so much in the last couple of years, and so many things relate to our liver. Here's why. The liver has over 500 critical functions.
Wow.
And most of us, when we talk about liver health, we think detox, and that's it, right? No, the liver is responsible for blood sugar regulation, energy metabolism, how your nutrients get metabolized in your body, hormone balance. You know anybody with hormone issues, guys? Right? In addition to detoxification, I mean, that's just 5 things, but there are so many things. And I see people a lot with weird symptoms, and even something as simple as, why is my blood sugar just mildly elevated? It's like, it should be under 90. Why is it around 100? And I don't know, I'm eating well, I'm doing everything. And that could be an indication of fatty liver. So let's talk for a minute about fatty liver, because right now that is the new epidemic. When we just went through this 2 years of craziness that we were just coming out of, what did people do? People ate more junk food, right? Ate more sugar, drank more alcohol, didn't exercise because the gyms were closed. We stayed indoors for a period of time, so we weren't getting good sunlight and fresh air. And now over 60% of the people that I'm seeing now have fatty liver, where they didn't previously. So it's like, wow, how did that happen? Well, you just did all the things that actually cause fatty liver. But here's the catch. Your blood tests can be completely normal and you have no idea you have fatty liver. There's no symptoms. There may be some like digestive symptoms, there could be fatigue, there could be minor symptoms, but you have no idea that it's your liver. The way that fatty liver is diagnosed is an ultrasound, an abdominal ultrasound. And that is a test that is not typically done at your doctor's office when you go for a physical. The only time they would send you for that is if you had elevated liver enzymes in a blood test. But by that time, guess what? Your liver's already 50% damaged. It's, you're really moving down the line. So like most of the patients that I've been working with, that has been their main health issue. But then you connect all these other things, like the biggest one I'm seeing, the biggest two that I'm seeing, you guys, stubborn weight loss, where people are so frustrated because they're doing what they believe is the right thing. I'm eating correctly, I'm exercising. Why is my weight stuck and it won't move? And I have noticed that the minute you focus your attention on your liver and you clean it up a little bit and you kind of support it, get rid of some of the things that are making it impaired, and weight just comes off like it was the easiest thing you've done in your life. Like, I can't even explain that. It's unbelievable. So stubborn weight loss is a really big one, especially for women over 50, because then they're dealing with some hormonal issues, premenopause or menopause. And guess what? Your liver regulates your hormones too. So we need to be paying attention. The other thing that I'm seeing a lot of is thyroid issues. So let's talk about this for a second. Now, our body makes a thyroid hormone, okay, called T4. Let's just call it T4. I'm not going to get too technical here. So, and what'll end up happening though is our body can't use T4. It needs to be converted to T3. And that's the form that our body actually uses. Where do you think that conversion takes place, guys?
In our liver.
In your liver. So if your liver's all gunked up, you might not be converting your body's thyroid hormone properly. And that could also include people who are on thyroid medication, because many people are on a synthetic T4, but guess what? It's still got to be converted. So if you feel that you're on a medication and it's not really working for you, then you have to question, okay, maybe it's not getting converted in my liver. But I'm seeing those two things connected a lot. And we have also seen a lot of people with hypothyroidism also have fatty liver disease. It almost goes hand in hand. It's really, really common. But again, if you go to your doctor and you say, oh, I would like to check out my liver, can I have an ultrasound? You might have to argue a little bit on that, because they might say, well, why? And another interesting thing happened, you guys. Just last week, I was doing another podcast, and one of the listeners was an emergency room physician. And it was a meeting type. It wasn't really a podcast. It was more of a meeting. And she jumped on and she said, you know, I'm an ER physician. And when people come into the ER, she goes, we have to run a CT scan on most people sometimes to figure out what's going on. And she said, she's almost seen like 95% of the people coming into the ER with a CAT scan having fatty liver.
Wow.
And she started wondering, why does everybody have fatty liver? And this is exactly what happened this post-pandemic. This is a consequence of, you know, the eating and the not exercising and sugar and the alcohol and do you know that alcohol consumption went up like 30%?
It's a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
But
And-
so because going back, sorry, with the test, you're saying that, you know, if the liver enzymes in your blood by the time the doctor asks for that, so how can you, like, part of a normal physical, because I have to go get my checkup done soon, is it just something that the doctor just checks off and check for liver enzymes, or is it too late? Like, is there something that's
No,
catching earlier?
typically on a standard blood chemistry panel, they will check for that. There's like about 4 different liver enzymes that you can look at. And if any of those are even on the high side of normal, I would think about maybe ask your doctor, say, you know, I'm at that age where I think I'd like to get a liver ultrasound or an abdominal ultrasound and look at my liver, my gallbladder. The gallbladder is related to the liver, but let's just divert and talk about that for a second, because another thing that's been happening is over the last 3 years, ketogenic diets have been very popular. High fat diets are popular, and everybody's going, oh, just eat all the fat you want. As long as it's healthy fat, it's good. Well, your gallbladder might not be able to handle that. And I've also seen I've seen 3 cases so far of people who lost their gallbladder post ketogenic diet because their body couldn't handle those levels of fat and the gallbladder got all gunked up. So, that's another thing, that the diet trends can be really harmful today. And we just have to make sure that we have a balance of nutrients, not too high or low in any one macro. So protein, fat, carbohydrates, they need to be really balanced. And the liver prefers a diet that's slightly lower in fat, or at least balanced, about 30% of total calories. So then there's that. So yeah, we have a lot going on. But when this physician told me, she said, I can't believe how much I've seen it. But keep in mind, we're an ER and we have other things that are going to be priorities. And we never tell the person, oh, by the way, we saw, major fatty liver going on. They'll diagnose it as mild, moderate, or severe. And after severe fatty liver, it will go to what they call fibrosis or cirrhosis, where it's actual scar tissue in the liver, which is very difficult to reverse. So you can reverse fatty liver. And our liver is the only organ that can regenerate. Probably because it's so important and it has so many major functions. Yeah, for sure. So you guys probably want to know, like, what do I do for my liver?
Absolutely.
What do we do? What's okay. So first, let me give you just a couple of quick things. What harms the liver? Number 1, you guys can probably guess this one, right? Alcohol.
I was going to say smoking.
Smoking can too, yeah. Any toxin, basically. So alcohol is really toxic to the liver, but if you think about any of the toxins that you're exposed to on a regular basis, whether it's pesticides, chemicals, chemicals in your personal care products, perfumes, laundry soap, artificial sweeteners, heavy metals, all of that can be toxic. But I think the biggest one that we're seeing the most is going to be alcohol consumption that increased. But the good news is, guess what? If you stopped alcohol for just 60 days, you'll probably see a change in your liver, in your hydration. Your skin is going to look great. Your mental clarity, all of that. And, that doesn't mean you have to eliminate it forever, but if you just kind of cleanse out a little bit and take that challenge, take the 60-day challenge, see what happens. So alcohol is one thing that harms the liver. The other thing is eating fried foods. So these would be things like French fries, potato chips, actually even tortilla chips if they're fried, tempura. I'm trying to think of other things that are fried. Sometimes fish cakes are fried, or crab cakes, or things like that. Fried foods really do a number on your liver. I mean, you might even have symptoms where there's pain under your right rib after eating that type of a meal because your liver's really struggling with it. So eliminating fried foods, and if you look for more, if you like, like a potato chip, for example, look for things that are those type of snacks that are at least baked and not fried. Even crackers can be fried. So you have to kind of really get away from the fried stuff. Along those lines is get away from, high fat diets too. Just keep it balanced with the healthy fats. That's not as big of a problem as the damaged fats. Then number 3 on our list. So we have no alcohol, or take the 60-day challenge. Number 2, we have no fried foods. And number 3, we have low sugar. And high fructose corn syrup, which is a popular additive in a lot of foods, especially in soda, will cause non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And this is why kids in their teen years who are not drinking alcohol are getting diagnosed with this. It's called NAFLD, or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And that's a problem because, they're kids. We shouldn't have that. We shouldn't be having struggles with our liver in our teenage years. But all you have to do is decrease your sugar. And you guys, I'm not a big fan of going 0 sugar because I don't think it's realistic. What do we got coming up this weekend? It's jelly bean season, okay? But here's how you do it in a healthy way. If you allowed yourself, females, 25 grams of added sugar, okay? Males, 36 grams of added sugar, and you did not go over that, you'd probably be okay.
What do you mean by that, Sue? What do you mean by added sugar?
Okay, so
What does that
added
look
sugar,
like?
that's a great question. Added sugar would be something you add to a food product. So like if you added honey or maple syrup or sugar to your tea or coffee, you're adding something. If you have sugar added to a food product, like if you pick up your spaghetti sauce and look on the label, and there's actually a line item on the nutrition label that says added sugar, and it might say 5 grams per half a cup. It might say 15 grams per half a cup. I would do this experiment with spaghetti sauce and just go to the store and compare. And you'll see that some brands put a lot more sugar in it. Why? Because food companies know that sugar is addictive and we love it. We'll buy their product. So I don't think it's realistic to go 0 sugar, but some people try. And by the way, this does not include fruit, which is natural sugar. Okay, this only includes an added sugar product. If you could keep yourself to 25 grams and stay within your budget, then you ask yourself, how do I want to budget my sugar today? And maybe
So,
you want-
sorry, is that 25 grams per day or is it?
per day, per day. So let's say you're going to ask yourself that question and you're going to say, well, if I have a can of soda, regular soda, that's going to be 39 grams, and sorry, you're over your limit. So maybe if you really truly want that, half a can, and that's all you can have for the entire day. Okay, not that I would suggest that, but maybe you want 2 Oreos, which might come out to 19 grams of sugar. Okay, that's better than eating 7, or 10 or the whole bag, right? So if you could, I think if people budget their added sugar, it's much more realistic. If you wanted to add a teaspoon of honey to your coffee, just 1 teaspoon, that's 5 grams. You guys, that's realistic, don't you think? It's kind of realistic. What else? You guys have any other sugar things that you would want?
Here's a question. I'm thinking of like, I've taken the sugar thing out of my coffee. So, once in a while I'll have a mocha or a cappuccino and there'll be like I'll put a little bit of honey versus the white sugar. But when you're talking about 25 for women and 36 for men, let's say like this coming weekend, it's Easter. So you're doing really well. And then all of a sudden, say for a weekend, you just kind of go off, you go off the deep end and you have all this cake and all this dessert. Is that just as detrimental? Is that kind of, I wouldn't say it's okay, but let's say you're okay for 6 months and then you get a couple weekends where you just went to, 50, 60, 70, even 100 grams of sugar because you just downed 3 pieces of cake. What does that do to the liver? Like if it's like
Sean, that's such a good question.
Because that happens.
Because actually they do research on that. And so basically, I think in the big picture, if you were just going a little overboard on a few holidays per year, let's say 5 holidays per year, it's not as detrimental to your overall picture of health, especially if you just get right back on track. But the thing that happens when you do that is you kind of can't stop. It's so addicting that you're like, okay, just 1 more the next day. And then I'll just finish off this cake and be done and start my,
leftovers.
So I think it's better to moderate it and then just pick, what do you want to eat this weekend that is your favorite thing, your favorite sweet thing, and don't even bother with the things that aren't your favorite things. So, you can do that. But another thing that sugar will do with a big dose like that is it will cripple your immune system for about 5 to 6 hours. And so they did do a study that was done in the 70s, actually, with 100 grams of sugar. And that impaired the white blood cells' ability to engulf bacteria. It started 30 minutes after that sugar load, and it lasts for 5 hours. So it can cripple your immune system. So if everybody around you has a spring cold right now and is sniffling, that sugar dose isn't going to help. That might even be harmful. So, but I don't think it's realistic to just say, oh, I'm never going to do sugar again, because, you know, it's part of life, you know, and you just have to be very, very moderate and decide how you want to budget. So sugar is something that will definitely impair the liver. Currently, right now, it's one of the main things that's causing fatty liver disease.
So
And-
Sue, sorry, similar to what John was asking, you're talking about the 60-day challenge of not having any alcohol. Okay. So for example, you have a special occasion, or you're going out for a birthday and you decide to have it on that weekend. Is that the same premises then of having a sugar intake?
Yeah, similar, unless it's a trigger. So I had a client who had almost liver fibrosis, and what she ended up doing was she ended up doing 90 days no alcohol and got through that fine. A lot of things changed. Thyroid changed, 30 pounds down, or 25 or 30 pounds down. All these things changed. Skin looked better. People were telling her she looked young. Everything was great. And then she started saying, well, I think I'm just going to be moderate. Oh, by the way, an ultrasound confirmed that everything was good after 90 days. So she did correct that. But I'll just have a glass of wine, you know, on the weekend or special occasions. And that was fine. But guess what happened? Her weight stopped. It got stuck right there at that point. And she maintained her weight. I think it was like a year and a half she maintained her weight, didn't go down anymore until she stopped alcohol again. And then it miraculously started dropping again. So there was something, whatever it was, maybe it was a genetic thing in her body that was just, can't do it, because if I have one, I'm going to have another one, and then I'm going to just be back to where I was with the same things. And then her weight started creeping up again. So I've seen that happen quite often. But again, you guys, look at the big picture of life. So if sugar is a big trigger for you, better to just not have it at all, if you know, so you don't get started again. Or the same thing with alcohol or fried foods. Some people are really addicted to French fries and things like that. I got one more thing we can do that's not something you need to eliminate, but something you can increase that will really help cleanse your liver. And that's greens, fruits and vegetables, greens. So, you know, I know it's hard to get 9 servings of vegetables in per day. Like, ask yourself, how many servings of vegetables did you guys have yesterday? If we just did a 24-hour recall, you know, maybe not that much, but I'm right there with you. It's difficult. You would have to have 3 servings of vegetables at every meal. I prefer to drink green juice, which is spectacular for cleansing your liver. So the best thing you could do on Monday, if you are going to do too much sugar, is get a green juice, go to a local natural food market or a juice bar, and, you know, drink green juice at least 3 times during the week, 8 ounces at least. Trader Joe's has a good green juice that I've been using when I don't have time to make it. It's very labor intensive to make green juice, so I don't expect people are going to do that regularly, but it is doable to eat more salads, more greens, or add greens to your morning smoothie. You can do that. But greens are great for cleansing the liver, hydrating the whole body, and providing all those antioxidant nutrients you need. That's easy, right?
That sounds easy. But now that you're saying, let's say you are on the road to getting fatty liver. So what would be the process of getting it off? I mean, because you don't feel it. Like, there's a lot, like even a fatty heart, you don't feel it developing. So once you find out that you have it, I mean, is it exercise? I mean, food is definitely part of it, but what else would be like the top 1, 2, 3 things that you would add to the food?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned exercise, because exercise burns fat, period. And if you do that regularly, and again, that doesn't have to be 1 hour in a gym every single day. Pick 3 days a week and do a good walking or hiking workout, sweat, you know, just do that 3 days a week. And if you could commit to that, that's actually enough to reverse things. You know, I've seen that happen a lot. And it's key. Exercise will move things along quickly, but the only way you're going to know if you were successful in reversing a fatty liver is to get a repeat ultrasound. And I had to argue once with my doctor. She said, your blood work's perfect. You don't need to get an ultrasound. I said, well, they told me I needed enough. Anyway, I was able to get it, but I had to argue a little bit. So that would be the only way. So what you may want to do, because the ultrasound could be expensive depending on your insurance, is, do a good 90-day program and maybe even go to 120 days before you get rechecked. And then you'll be amazed. Honestly, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at how many things with your health actually can change. Things you didn't realize, like weak tendons and joints and fatigue, just your just general energy and things like that. So there's a lot you can do, you guys. And if you stick to a plan for 1 full year, you could have a brand new liver in a year.
And what other ways can we start detoxifying our liver?
I think the easiest thing is the green juice or green, maybe do a salad a day. That would be an easy thing. Another thing you can do, there are some helpful supplements, and 2 that are really, really key for the liver. One is called alpha lipoic acid, or ALA, and you will see that in some liver support products. That is a key nutrient. And in high doses, that can really help the liver, and it can also help with blood sugar regulation as well. So I do love that one. There's another one called milk thistle. It's an herb, or it's sometimes called silymarin. That is actually a powerful antioxidant that can help heal the liver and regenerate the liver. So, taking something that has at least those 2 nutrients and some good B vitamins. Selenium is a trace mineral that's also very helpful for the liver. So just making sure either your multivitamin, or if you have a liver support product that you're taking, that would be ideal. And I might double up on those things after an insult, after some alcohol or after some sugar or some toxic exposure or something. I might double up on that for a day or 2.
Well, thank
Does
you
that
so
help?
much. Yeah, that's awesome. We got to, again, continue this because there's so much more to talk about this. But so yeah, that's pretty well. We run out of time so fast all the time.
Oh, I
But
know,
we
it gets so juicy.
we get into the heart of it. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. And yeah, heart health. Yes, Fatima. So thank you, Sue, for coming on. We look forward to your next topic. Maybe it'll be part 2 of this. And so yeah, we're done. What did we just finish? Cyrene, you just finished it.
Yes, before we do that, but how do we get a hold of Sue? Sue, tell us how our viewers can get a hold of you, and you've got something coming up, don't you?
Yeah, easy to get a hold of me. If you go to my website, which is sue-ward.com. Like I said, I do have blog articles there. I have a contact form. You can also email me, and you guys, I'm going to give you a different email because I've been having some trouble.
Okay.
The email is wholebodyhealth, all one word, at mac.com. And, if people have other questions, they can email me. But what I want to offer to any of your listeners is a 15% discount on my Liver 911 course. It's an online course that is self-paced. You do it at your own pace. And there are only 4 live Zooms that are also recorded. So if you can't make them, you got it covered. And I want to give you the code. It's HW Vibes, like Healthy Way Vibes, 15. So if you are enrolling in my liver program, there's a little place where you can put in that coupon code and it will take off 15%.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So check it out. You can see what's involved in the course. There's a whole curriculum on my website where you could read about it. But I usually don't offer discounts, but it's been like the last 6 months, I'm like, this is so important, you guys, and we really have to get this word out. So thank you for having me on, as this is like a really important topic for me and a passion. Oh, love the heart. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for
Thanks,
coming
Sue.
on. We
So
appreciate it.
Cyrene, what did we just finish? What did you just finish? All of
Oh
us
my
did.
gosh, we just finished our 1,000 gratitudes, which is 100 days of 100 gratitude that we've had 10 days, how it worked was 10 different things that you were full of gratitude for 100 days. And we did it, you guys, we did it. Oh my gosh, we just finished it on April 12th was
Right,
our last
and-
day.
And you know what? Let's do it again. I mean, for those of you that joined late, just continue going on to your 100 days. And those of you that have not done it, we encourage you to start. And just like what Cyrene and Fatima and what we've all been doing is just write down 10 different things every day. That's the key word. They can't repeat themselves. So at the end of 100 days, you should have 1,000 different things that you're grateful for. So we encourage you to start that and really look back. That's something for you to look back on and see some of those things kind of really change over the months and the years if you continue on. So 100 days start on Monday. Monday will be 18th. 18th. We're going to start on the 18th. So join us on that. So thanks again, Sue, for coming on. And we probably do need to expand on this topic because you're a specialist in this. And so coming up on is it May? No, I'm looking back at our chart. On April 20th, actually coming up next week, we have Dr. Teresa coming back to talk about weight balancing. So please tune in next Wednesday for Dr. Teresa to come back on, and we'll announce what our future shows are going to be. So thanks again for joining us, and we hope to see you again on our future episodes. And you can catch us on our Healthy Way Vibes. We're Healthy Way Vibes on all our different platforms on YouTube. You can find that on our blog, on Facebook, and on Instagram. So hopefully you can follow us and connect with us there and send us your comments, your like, share, whatever you like to do. And we love your support over the last couple of years. So we see you again soon, and have a great Thursday.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.